like clock. I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
I'm sure we all know that this right here is a very bad situation. If you guys don't know, Isshiki Ōtsutsuki pulled up to the Hidden Leaf Village and now he wants to smoke. Specifically, he just wants Kawaki. I don't think he really wants any problems. Maybe he wants to get a little bit of revenge on Amato, probably kill him. But regardless, I think he's cool with the Hidden Leaf Village and he's cool with Naruto and Sasuke. But at this point, we are clearly at a disadvantage. I think one of the biggest reference points that we could look at is when Isshiki Ōtsutsuki in a suppressed state fought against Naruto and Sasuke and absolutely bullied them. So at this point, Isshiki Ōtsutsuki in a much stronger form is most likely going to be able to easily take care of Naruto and Sasuke. But I do want to touch on a tiny bit of like a glimmer of light. It's the fact that Naruto and Sasuke know what Isshiki Ōtsutsuki is like now. They know his moves, they know some of his skill sets. They don't know everything, but they know at least some of it, as opposed to their previous fight. Naruto and Sasuke were pretty much going in blind. They had no idea what jigen was going to do or what Isshiki Ōtsutsuki was actually capable of. Don't get me wrong, that in itself is definitely some good news, but we have to understand Isshiki Ōtsutsuki in this form can also do some more things that they have not necessarily seen yet. We've seen that Isshiki Ōtsutsuki has a new dojutsu. Of course, Naruto and Sasuke never fought against Isshiki with the dojutsu. We only seen one ability from the dojutsu thus far, and of course, I spoke about this in my last video, how Kajin Koji wasn't necessarily a very good test for Isshiki Ōtsutsuki for him to do the things that he's pretty much always done over 1,000 years ago when he was actually in his regular form. I think if he would actually fight Naruto and Sasuke, of course, he shows us a lot more of the abilities that he's accustomed to using in that original form, and specifically those abilities we've never seen before, and more importantly, Naruto and Sasuke has also never seen those abilities before either. Another huge disadvantage is going to be the fact that at this point he's at the top of the Hidden Leaf Village, like he's literally floating above the Hidden Leaf Village, and we all know Naruto and Sasuke, they are not going to be fighting in the Hidden Leaf Village. We're talking about 3 god level characters, each of them having the abilities to single-handedly destroy the Hidden Leaf Village in one blow, and if them 3 are going to be in a battle, it cannot be in the Hidden Leaf Village. And if it is in the Hidden Leaf Village, we could probably assume that Naruto and Sasuke aren't really going to go 100% all out because they're afraid to destroy the Hidden Leaf Village. That's just more of a disadvantage for Naruto and Sasuke. Isshiki Ōtsutsuki, even though he has no intentions of destroying the Hidden Leaf Village, he just wants Kawaki. He really wouldn't feel bad if he actually did destroy the Hidden Leaf Village. And even though this sounds kind of productive, Isshiki Ōtsutsuki not being 100% invested into the actual battle, it's a bad scene for Naruto and Sasuke. Isshiki Ōtsutsuki at this point, as I said, he doesn't really care about Naruto and Sasuke. He could care less about the fight. He knows they could probably watch them, but he really doesn't want to do that. What he wants to do right now is get to Kawaki. So that pretty much means that he's going to be extremely slippery if Naruto and Sasuke do actually try to confront him. We understand that he knows how to use time, space, and jutsus. If he catches a glimpse of Kawaki's chakra, he could just use teleportation and just teleport right to Kawaki and be done with it. Naruto and Sasuke would have then failed in their mission in protecting Kawaki. One of the things that we really don't know as of right now is the process of how an Otsutsuki member actually implants somebody with their karma. So we've seen it 2 times before. We've seen it with Momoshiki and Boruto, both times being in the manga and in the anime. There are 2 separate processes in both of the instances, but in both of those processes, what we understand is that it happened in a blink of an eye. Naruto has no idea what this process looks like. Sasuke already seen this process, so he could possibly recognize exactly what's happening if Isshiki Ōtsutsuki does get that far into trying to implant Kawaki with the karma seal. But regardless, the last time that we see Momoshiki that close to Boruto to pretty much implant him with the karma seal, Sasuke, for a lack of words, was completely useless. He really couldn't do anything, mainly because it seemed like time itself had stopped. This right here was similar in the anime and in the manga. In both instances, it seemed like time had stopped and the regular mortals couldn't really do anything to protect Boruto against Momoshiki implanting him with the karma seal. And I think that could possibly be the same situation here. Because of this, because we don't really know the exact process, and because it seems like time itself stops, I really can't see how Naruto and Sasuke are going to be able to protect Kawaki against Isshiki Ōtsutsuki from getting the karma seal. And what we know from the first episode and the first chapter of the Boruto manga, Kawaki does have the karma seal. So we understand that Isshiki Ōtsutsuki is going to be successful in implanting Kawaki with the karma seal. Essentially, we already know that Naruto and Sasuke are going to fail in their mission in protecting Kawaki. Now, in terms of what I believe they should be doing, I think they should automatically be trying to take Kawaki to another dimension, a dimension that Isshiki Ōtsutsuki possibly does not know. What we understand right now is that Isshiki Ōtsutsuki is working on a time limit. He said himself that he's probably going to only be alive for about 2 or 3 days. If they could hide another dimension for about 2 or 3 days, that would be absolutely ideal. But of course, we have to understand, what about the Hidden Leaf Village? Is Isshiki Ōtsutsuki going to destroy the Hidden Leaf Village to try to draw Naruto and Sasuke out? That definitely could be a very good possibility. Regardless, I think going into another dimension is probably the most safest bet. As I said, Isshiki Ōtsutsuki right now is on a time restraint, so it could possibly be a situation that Isshiki Ōtsutsuki probably wouldn't waste his time in the Hidden Leaf Village. He probably just go into other dimensions and start looking for Naruto, Sasuke, and Kawaki. Now, if he does end up actually fighting Naruto, Sasuke, and Kawaki, this could possibly be a very good thing, mainly because Naruto and Sasuke will be able to fight without any restraints and any fears of destroying the Hidden Leaf Village. Of course, that would be a very good thing, but we understand that Naruto and Sasuke are probably going to end up losing in that battle. But another thing that might be a factor in that other dimension is possibly home court advantage. Now, I do want to say there's no real basis to this idea, but I am assuming that over the, I don't know, the past 16 years, Sasuke probably found a dimension that he probably knows extremely well. And once you find a dimension that you frequent a lot, it doesn't necessarily take a lot of chakra to enter that dimension. Not only that, if you guys do recall, when Naruto and Sasuke were fighting against Kage, she had a dimension that she used to her advantage. There was a dimension that Kage had, and she pretty much used the whole dimension to try to fight against Naruto. Naruto was forced to fly, he was forced to look out for ice and stuff like that, just attacking him out of nowhere, mainly because Kage used the dimension to her abilities. This could possibly be a situation where Sasuke learned a dimension and knows how to use it to his abilities as well. Now, of course, I do want to point this out. I'm not necessarily hoping that Sasuke understands how to use the dimension to the ability just like Kage, but it could possibly be a situation where it just adds an added level of home court advantage for Sasuke and possibly even Naruto if Naruto is kind of familiar with that dimension as well. Another added benefit of this is possibly going to be Isshiki Ōtsutsuki weakening over time after entering multiple dimensions and possibly just looking for Kawaki over and over, going through multiple dimensions. I do want to make this clear. It's probably not going to be at a level of like a Sasuke going into different dimensions, mainly because Sasuke's body is of course a human, he's immortal. Isshiki is an Otsutsuki member, so his body is going to be naturally accustomed to entering other dimensions and expending that much chakra, so of course it's probably not going to necessarily help that much, but even the tiny bit of help of Isshiki Ōtsutsuki wasting a lot of chakra going to and from other dimensions is probably going to help a lot in this battle. Now I'm going to give you guys an idea that I personally think is going to be the smartest idea that they could possibly do, and I understand that a lot of you guys are probably not going to like this, man, because it's kind of like surrendering, but I think one of the best ideas that they can possibly do is just give them Kawaki. At this point, we understand that Naruto and Sasuke, we respect them a lot, but they just can't, they can't compete with Isshiki Ōtsutsuki. I really don't understand what Amado was thinking, and I 100% think that Amado definitely does have an ulterior motive, and he's not 100% committed to this idea that he did sell Naruto and Sasuke with. But regardless, I think one of the worst things that we could do right now is act irrational. Again, Isshiki Ōtsutsuki is more than capable of soloing Naruto and Sasuke. Naruto and Sasuke really doesn't have any time of calling back at mainly because Isshiki Ōtsutsuki, as we speak, is in the Hidden Leaf Village. Isshiki Ōtsutsuki, if necessary, can kill Naruto and Sasuke to get to Kawaki. I just personally think to risk your life against a foe that 1 does not really care about you, or 2 does not really care about the Hidden Leaf Village, or 3 doesn't necessarily care about the Shinobis in general, just wouldn't really make that much sense at this particular point. Now, I do want to point out, once Kawaki does actually get the Karma Seal, he is going to be in a stage where he does have full consciousness of his body for at least the first couple of years. We don't necessarily know how long the process is going to take. I personally think it's probably going to take upwards of like 10 years or something like that until the Karma Seal fully takes over the person's body. But regardless, in that span, in that time frame, they could possibly try to find a way to reverse the Karma Seal. And if they are not able to reverse the Karma Seal, of course, they would then have to kill Kawaki. But we have to understand, Kawaki, even though it's a very sad story, he would have to die. People die every day in the ninja world, or they used to die every day. We understand that Naruto doesn't really like seeing those things happen, but when it comes to actual practical situations like this, we have to figure out the most logical way out of these types of situations. And it's not that this is probably going to be a one-off situation. No, Naruto's literal son also has the Karma Seal. Naruto's literal son is also going to need to find a way to reverse the Karma Seal. So because of that, I think it probably wouldn't necessarily matter if Kawaki also in turn has the Karma Seal. Now again, this probably isn't going to be the most entertaining scenario. This probably isn't going to be the most respected scenario, but I think it's probably going to be the smartest scenario out of this situation. And I was kind of joking on Twitter. I said, give Isshiki whatever he wants. If Isshiki wants to become the Hokage and make him the 8th Hokage, give Isshiki whatever he wants. He's only going to be alive for a couple of days, and after that we could try to figure out exactly how to possibly reverse this process, or if not, hey, we got to kill off Kawaki. Probably not Boruto, because we understand that Momoshiki isn't necessarily that strong. Sasuke and Naruto can possibly handle Boruto, but regardless, in terms of Kawaki and Isshiki Ōtsutsuki, we might have to either find a way to reverse the Karma Seal, or we might have to off him. It's just that simple. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Do you guys think it's going to go well for my guys Naruto and Sasuke? And I know a lot of people are out there theorizing that, hey, Sasuke might actually die in the upcoming chapters. Again, the smartest thing to do is just sacrifice Kawaki. Give Isshiki Kawaki. I really don't want to see Sasuke sacrifice for the sake of Kawaki, somebody he just met literally like an hour ago. But it's me, your boy Baara B, and we out.
It's a knife. do for the game. Shorty want class, so she fuck for the fame. Look at my eyes, man, I swear I won't change. Losing my mind, man, I swear I can't think.